Hello everyone, welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2 with the F Heroes 2 engine. My name is John, this channel is AVP09. I've had some focus recently with my sons playing RLcraft, if you're a fan of that kind of thing, Minecraft, RLcraft, you can check that out. But in my heart of hearts, this is one of my top games of all time, and we're going to get back to it. So we'll do the campaign for the original, and I plan on doing this with
The troubles all began 3 years
a
ago
bit of a walkthrough
with the
style.
passing of the old king, Lord Ironfist. The king left 2 sons. Roland was good, kindly, and honorable, while Archibald was not so good. Traditionally, the choice of the heir falls to the royal seer, but he died in a tragic boating accident. His successor's luck was no better, with Frederick falling out of a window, Robert slain by a dragon, and Johann dying of food poisoning. Archibald accused Roland of murdering the seers, and issued a proclamation against Roland. Fearing for his life, Roland fled the place for his castle in the west. With Roland gone, Archibald was able to influence the new royal seer's decision. The seer chose Archibald, and Archibald crowned himself king the next day. And so the war for succession began. Choose your lord.
Alright, some sketchy moments there with Archibald clearly stopping the advisor, the person who is going to choose the king. I've seen a lot of people who play this eventually online, and I think although it's the more commonly chosen one, as should be, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with Roland. So we're going to hear from him right now.
My faithful vassal, I greet your pledge of loyalty with gratitude and relief. As you know, my wicked brother Archibald has seized my father's castle and usurped the throne. Only the lords nearest the castle have been quick to swear allegiance to him, but I fear even distant lords may take the oath in the absence of a viable alternative. I am determined to provide that alternative, even if it means making war on vassals formerly loyal to my father. Therefore, it is with a heavy heart that I must order you to compel the loyalty of the barons nearest my summer palace by force of arms. Since we cannot afford to fail, I have provided you with a sum of gold sufficient to the task. I have also provided you with a magical amulet to help coordinate our war efforts. Wear it always, and we will be in constant communication.
So the amulet you saw there on the table was in the original. Would glow blue to show that King Roland, or potentially future King Roland, is communicating with you. And I might also believe that it's also to give you the reasoning as to why you can kind of play the game as we are, which is up above, of course, all of the land, coordinating all the heroes and castles and everything. And I think that's a part to play in this. Now, if not, because I've really only just thought about this, the idea is just simply so that Roland can talk with you, and then you are kind of maybe in your mind you can kind of be one of the heroes each time. That part's always kind of just up to you. So we're here at scenario 1, Force of Arms. Roland needs you to defeat the lords near his castle to begin his war of rebellion against his brother. They are not allied with each other, so they will spend most of their time fighting with one another. Victory is yours when you have defeated all of their castles and heroes. So we have a choice of 3 different things here. 2,000 gold, Thunder Mace, or Gauntlets. We start as the Wizard's alignment castle. And so we're going to have a hero that is possibly in need of some attack skill. Gauntlets for defense. Shouldn't take long. And to my memory, this first map does not have a lot of resources. So to me, I think most people would tend to choose the gold. The Thunder Mace is a secondary choice for sure, in my opinion. That being said, I think we're just going to go with the gold, and we'll just see how it goes from there. There are 3 enemy castles to the north. Capture them in the name of Roland, the true king. And here we are. We have Flint. Now, again, I wanted to try to make the approach for this playthrough of the campaign as a bit of a walkthrough tutorial, at least as I can. Maybe I'll play it twice, back to back. This time will be more walkthrough. Next time, more just play it in normal commentary. But someone gave me a suggestion, and what if you try doing it, teaching wise? And there's a particular map that I think they had in mind, but I think I like the idea of trying this at least. I'm a teacher by trade, and I do enjoy doing that. Obviously, I don't have the immediate feedback from anybody who was there, but with this game, Heroes Might and Magic 2, the F-Heroes 2 engine, we have a few things we're going to look for. First off, we have our viewer here, our Fog of War, to where once we uncover it, we'll be able to see more. Our mini-map in the top right, which we can move our map with the arrows up, down, left, right. Our castles will be found on this right side column, our heroes on the left. Of the heroes, we have a yellow bar, which is our movement ability for a particular day. So this is day 1, month 1, week 1, right? The yellow bar says we've only got this much movement, which we also can see here when we right-click, move points, 1100, 1100, right? Now that is all dictated based on the creatures that we have. We can have 5 in this area. Right now we have 10 halflings and 3 boars. The speed of each one, our speed as the hero, Flint in this case, he can only move as fast as the slowest unit. Now we see here the halflings have a speed of slow or 3, and that is connected to how they move across the battlefield whenever we're in a battle. We'll talk about that later. But there is a grid pattern, which I'll show you as well. And there's only 3, I think it's hexes, as you could say, but 3 steps that halflings can go. The boars, however, are twice that speed at very fast, and they can go 6. We see that there. I guess I could do that by then showing you with the mouse. Along with any other creatures, we also have their breakdowns of attack, defense, the damage that any one attack can do, hit points that they can take before dying, and that is to say there are 3 of them, so we have 15 times 3, 45 health before all 3 of these boars are gone. But every 15 that we go down, 1 falls. The less we have, the less that then can be damaged, and using the attack skill to kind of do some, in the background math to hit that damage, and also connects to our attack skill. Our defense has 5 in parentheses because we have 1 defense skill already, so that gives our creatures 1 more. Our morale and luck is all based on our hero as well, and there are a lot of things that can change this. Our morale helps us while we are fighting. We have all wizard troops, so it gives us a +1 in morale. We can have certain secondary skills that can give us that, or artifacts that can boost it. But the only other thing is really if you just have the same alignment, which in this case all wizard troops +1, so all of my creatures have +1 morale. It means they might be able to attack twice any given round during a fight, but it's not very likely. But it's more likely now with good morale than neutral or any of the bad morales. There is 2 more advances in morale, and we can see that as we go. Here we have our luck. We don't currently have any modifiers, so we see how it shows like it's a balance of good luck and bad luck. Neutral luck means your armies will never get lucky or unlucky attacks on the enemy. So luck is all about critical hits, right? You can essentially do twice the damage. So that is if we get lucky. If we get unlucky, I think that is where either that you can have you just take more damage, but that there's no actual indicator that shows you that that happens. Now it could be that bad luck could also play a role with bad morale, which means you might not get a turn. But I believe in general it just means that when your creatures attack, they do the least damage, and the worse luck you have, the more possible that is. Along the hero's profile here, we have where we could put the formation style, spread, or grouped. We almost always want to do spread, as it makes sure that we have our creatures at the very top and very bottoms of the map, depending on where they're set up. If my halflings were here, they'd be at the very bottom, here they're at the very top. Then I can use my boars or whomever else I might have to block them. So again, when we do a battle, you'll see exactly what that looks like. Okay, we have a spell book, as he is a wizard. We start usually with one, in this case Stone Skin, and then we'll need a mage guild, which we'll find in our castle, if one's built. 1 defense, 2 spell power, and 2 knowledge. Knowledge is connected to how much of the spell points we can get. We'll see spell points in this section. So right now we're full, 20 of 20, so every knowledge point is another 10 in our max amount of spell points. Spell power is how effective the attack is, the length or power of a spell. So more damage if we do a spell like lightning bolt, fireball, magic arrow, anything like that. It'll do more damage the higher this is. But then also if we have something that is like blind or haste or slow, the higher this is, the more days it will be cast on that particular creature. Defense, of course, for defense and boosting up, as we said, and attack if we had it. Now 0, it's not like times 0 where our attack skill is nothing, but it is not giving any boost to our creatures. Now with Wisdom Advanced, that means we can learn our 4th level spells. Again, this is all connected to our castle. So if we looked in here, we don't have a mage guild, but if we were to get one, there are 5 levels of the mage guild in every single castle. You can replenish your spell points by doing this, as well as increasing your the number of spells that you can cast. So all of that, you have to stay overnight at the castle in order to get your spell points back. When we start off, and this is the very base level that you can start with, we have just our 2 first creature dwellings, and we can keep getting the halflings if we want. They're very cheap. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the boars, and I'm going to leave 1, maybe, I don't want to click it that way, but I'm going to leave 2 here, as I'm going to get a couple more heroes, and we want our heroes to have the very fast creature. Wizards are nice in that after the first round that you, or the first day that you have them, you could have boars from this point. So very, very helpful. Actually, we probably can get one. Although a warlock, which is the type of hero that Rathmont is even better, because instead of how we have halflings and at the slow speed, which would mean that this is the furthest that Kalindra here could go, like Flint is like a slow creature. Warlocks come with the centaurs, which are average 1 step faster than the halflings, but then also their own very fast and also flying creatures from the beginning. Now they have more spell power, but they don't have the defense. It's up to you to where you like for all this to fall, but for me, I would take Rathmont with his gargoyles over Kalindra. Although we probably would do Kalindra as well, because then we can get some more boars with Flint, and we'll let the halflings kind of build up as well. So I think we'll probably get both of them, and each one is worth 2,500. So that's 50 away from us. Right now it says we have 11,100, and we probably want to get something else here. Most people tend to do the statue on the first day, as it gives you 250 gold per day, and we'll talk about the other ones the further we get in this particular scenario. So we'll get that, and then we'll get an extra 250 each turn. Because Kalindra will have her own, we're going to go ahead and step away. Right? Yes, okay, so we've done that. Let's just take one step out. We'll get Kalindra first. We are going to get... Rathmud is the one we want more, but we're going to get Kalindra first so that we can give what we need to give away, so we'll do that. I don't know why I found it necessary to do that first, but instead of here. We can click for heroes to meet. We saw a shape that looks like the double arrows. I'll show it to you again in a minute. But we're just going to give the 3 ores to Flint, and then I think we can even go and do 6 and 6, because it could be very useful that way. We'll keep them both at the top. Kalindra's one spell, which we can't see, we have to be in her own one here, is also Stone Skin, so essentially the same as Flint, just we had to buy her from the beginning as opposed to just had her from the start. So she can scout to the left, potentially pick up any gold. I'd have Flint be the person who's going to attack any creature. Hopefully we can do that, but let's go over here first. Gold, and then here we have ore, building block for many things at the castle. And let's go ahead and get Rathmud as well. We could get yet another Warlock. 8-4. Actually, this is something to consider. We have 8 and 4, whereas here we had 9 and 2. So we'd rather have the 4 gargoyles rather than 2. So we're actually going to go with Vesper. So it's almost a good thing we bought Kalindra first. We're going to leave the Centaurs as just more shooting units for the castle. Don't know how much we're going to have to defend, but we at least have that much. We'll do 2 each. I'm not sure. If we click a creature, hold shift and click out, we can do, I think it's a split in half, I think is what it is. Or it lets us choose, and since we only had one to choose, it allows us to just do 1. I'm still actually learning some of the tricks that the F-Heroes 2 engine implemented onto the Heroes 2 game. Alright, so let's take Vesper to this gold and then up. And see what we can find. Okay, we've got a treasure chest. Ooh, halflings. Now, halflings is obviously, as you saw, a wizard's character. And it is a shooting creature. I said character. Creature. Now, our boars can get over to them quickly, but we're going to take a few losses if we have shooters hitting us without any retaliation. In the game of Heroes 2, once your flyers or melee creatures, or even if you had a shooter that were to want to get close to another shooter, once you get within melee range, they can no longer do true shooting. At least most creatures can't. Or I guess all of them can't, but some of them don't take a penalty. Typically, though, with a creature like the halflings or even the centaurs, as we saw with the warlock character, they will take a melee minus to their attack, as it is not what they're normally trying to do. A centaur uses a bow and arrow, a halfling uses a slingshot, so they're going to have to pull out a dagger and stab. And that makes their attack far less effective. Now, I can go back and get the halflings, and we can see if they'll join us. So that's an idea. This game, if I might real quick, comes with a save function. Let me go ahead and save over the Roland one. And as you're a new player, I would recommend saving it often. and you can kind of not just saving it under one save, like multiple saves, and you can always like go back a little bit in time to try something different. If I was playing this out in such a way, I probably would have gone back to the point where I started moving Flint, and I would have put him back in so I could get less days kind of wasting of so I could have those creatures. And in fact, I could probably even borrow the 4 gargoyles, because that could go a long way in beating the halflings. Now, actually, I'm curious what attack. Okay, a curse Vesper has, so that's not an attacking style spell. It just makes you do the least amount of damage possible to whatever creature you cast the curse on. Whereas the spell that Flint has increases the defense of our creature, and that is again dependent on the spell power. But it means we would potentially take less hit points off for each attack. So let's use Flint, and he'll go up here, and maybe we can have. Thinking if like maybe Vesper can. We'll keep Vesper going up, but maybe instead we have Vesper bring 3 of the 4 gargoyles to Flint. That's fine. We have a few buttons here on our main screen. If you are somewhere far away on the screen, or for instance, if you are here, I'm not sure. Yeah, if we have traveling yet to go, you can click this and it'll take you just to the next hero. If you're destined to go somewhere, like right now we're planning on going to the castle, we can no longer move, so it shows it as brown arrows or an X marks the spot. If we do have the movement you saw earlier for all the ones that moved, it's a green arrows and an X marks the spot for where your target destination is. Okay, all right. We have this, which tells us about our kingdom. We can see what all our heroes have and what their secondary skills are, the artifacts if they have any of the mines, so we can see how much we have plus the number of mines we have. There's also the lighthouses down here. You can kind of see how much gold we earn per day. We can also go to towns and castles to see what's inside our castle, which is called Weddington. Didn't mention that before. And of course, yes, we have the halflings and centaurs there. We see all of the possible creatures in their lowest form, because we haven't bought any yet, telling us what we can get and if they're available. There's 8 halflings left to buy. There's 6 boars, there's 0 boars left to buy. The +6 is how many we'll get at the beginning of a new week. There you go. These haven't been bought yet, so we don't have them. It's a pretty comprehensive menu there. We can cast spells on the overworld. So if we have a hero that has a spell to cast in the overworld, we can click that and it brings up the book. Right now, no spell to cast, so we can't. We can go into our settings, mess with our speed and audio edits, all this stuff you can look at if you do play. Our save, of course, as you saw earlier, but this is also where you can go back to our main menu. If you decide to play a new game, or if you're loading, it'll take you back to the main menu. Quit, of course, will take you completely out of the game. Our flag gives us a few last things that we can look at. One is a zoomed out form of the map, which also shows us indicators for towns, mines, heroes, artifacts, and resources. I can zoom in a little bit, and I can see where it says the town is the little flags. Yes, our flags are on either side of the castle. And then mines, there's one here. It's marked with a W, so that would be wood. Our heroes 1, 2, and 3 are the crests of the shield there. Artifacts will be seen on the map, this map, with the glowing stars, and then resources if they're on the ground, like the ore, which is next to Kalindra, is the circle yet unclaimed with the O in it for ore. So kind of cool. I'll zoom this back out. Also on here is that if we have a map or a scenario where there is artifacts, a ultimate artifact to find, you will find these obelisks, an obelisk, which once you go to, it uncovers a piece of this puzzle. It depends on how many there are on the map to how many pieces will be unveiled for each one. There are no obelisks on this map, I believe, so we won't see this be uncovered, but something to note on this map here. To dig for the ultimate artifact is this here. You have to have full, whatever hero you have to have the full movement points available in order to use it. Most people tend to prepare within any 4 to 6 steps of their hero before they start digging. It's always a good recommendation. Don't want to waste an entire day by digging in a spot that you have no idea if it's going to be there. And then the info is going back to just what the campaign's about, let you know what you choose. If you decided to start over again, you can restart here, and as such change the difficulties and view the intro, all the videos we saw. So that's the breakdown of what all you're seeing here. Let's start the new day by clicking the last button we haven't talked about, which is this dial. The sand dial, of course, showing you the end of the day. I like to call it the dial of destiny. And we click it with a new day. It gives a very quick indicator to show you that the enemies are doing something during their portion of the day. When you're playing single player, you will typically go first, if not almost always, and the enemies will go once you click this, and then we start our second day. That can in itself be taken, you can kind of take advantage of that if you'd like. So, all right, so while we're going to be coming back to the castle, the question is, what do we do next? I was always a fan of doing the well next, as it gave you the +2 to creatures of all dwellings, but we don't technically need that until we get to the end of the week, because that increase for the per week, it's not needed until Sunday, right? The 7th day, as if Monday was the first day of our week. I think we'll do the Cliff Nest to give us a few more flyers, and then again we'll get the gargoyles from Vesper. It would be nice to look at the Mage Guild, don't get me wrong. If we had guaranteed that we were going to get Magic Arrow, yeah, that'd be great. But right now instead we want to just get the creatures. So the Cliff Nest produces the creature called Rocks, and it required the pen, which we already had when we had the beginning of our castle. 5 wood and 3,000 gold. We have enough, so we can just hit OK. On the map it shows where it pops up. If we had a well, we could always click the well to then bring up all of the available creatures, but as of right now we'll just do that. So if we're going to be introducing a slow creature, we could also take the centaurs if we wanted. With Vesper, let it go up and just get more gold. When you do get these treasure chests, you have, of course, readouts. This one says, after scouring the area, you fall upon a hidden treasure cache. You may take the gold or distribute the gold to the peasants for experience. Do you wish to keep the gold? And of course, we will. But if you said no, you would then just get experience for passing on this gold because you scoured the area and you grew and learned. Fantastic. But we'll choose the gold, so we say yes, and we get 2,000. And it also tells us the total we'll have once we click yes. Here, the amount of experience we would have earned, and then the amount we need in order to get to the next level. We're going to kind of avoid to leveling up Vesper, so we're just going to hit yes for the 2,000 gold. He'll get the wood, and again we see the green arrows. Once we see the horse logo that my screen has, with the gold outline and the blue interior, once you can actually land somewhere, you always see the horse kind of up on its hind legs, and that lets you know that's some actual destination. So I'll click that. We gain control of the sawmill, providing us 2 units of wood per day, 2 per day. So thank you. Beautiful thing about this game, you can hear the sounds of the different places that you're at or nearby. You hear the wood being cut. Very nice. We have rogues here. We're not going to be able to beat with 4 gargoyles without attacking spell. So we'll just choose this gold to get. Okay, so we're going to be fighting halflings specifically to go to a witch hut. That's this creature. This is this establishment here, this dwelling. Destination, let's call it. And a witch's hut gives you a secondary skill for free. Question is, do we want that particular secondary skill? Calendar's going to pick up the ore. We got 5. You can see the little window down here briefly shows you what you picked up. I moved just a couple of bits, and then I'm going to pick up the treasure chest with Calendra. Same readout. In this case, we have 1,500 gold or the 1,000 experience. Once again, we're choosing gold. A few of the things we've seen on the map so far. We have the well, we have this fountain, and there was down here an idol. All these things that you can go to have different uses, just like the witch's hut, as I mentioned before. The idol gives you an addition to your, I want to say it's morale. The fountain gives you added luck, and the well would give you your spell points back up to its max, which you can do. I think you can do it every day if you wanted to, but it's definitely because there's you could do that every day if you need. Oh, please excuse me. I was playing with my sons before I took this quick break, and I guess I got more tired than I thought. All right, we've got some orc chiefs. When we look at any particular creature on the map here, the overworld map, it gives us a description of how many there are. Not a number, a description. This says a pack. This says a pack. So there's a specific number range that it could be if you have creatures of a specific description. And all of those we'll see in time. I don't have them all memorized, but I know there's a few, which is, I want to say like 1 to 3. Then there is, I think a pack is the next one up. And there's several lots. And then we get up into some of the big ones like hordes, legions. There's many from there. So, but right now we're just looking at packs because it's the beginning of the map. They know that we're not super strong yet. Okay, it looks like I can stay far enough away. We can normally not go within 1 step away from a creature without having them attempt to attack us, or if we were powerful enough for them to then be saying, oh, do I want to fight? Maybe I don't. Maybe we'll join, stuff like that. Well, there's some more halflings, but a lot of shooters on this map. So that's as far as we can go with Calendra here. Let's go up this way. So I can only take that 1 more step. We'll have to go up here the next day. If you look at the horse in any on the map, there's a certain point where as you get far enough, the number on the horse will change. So here it would take 2 days, but if I went 1 more step, it'll take 3. So that would be 2 days. This would be 3 days. You see that horse change. Here its front hoof, the 2, and then the 3. If we go up here, it just says this is just 2 days worth. Very nice. Then Flint is going to grab those rocks, halflings, and I mean, again, it doesn't really hurt us to keep these because it just doesn't matter. Their average speed, halflings are slow, so we're already going at slow speed. These will go before them because from left to right, if they're the same speed average, the one first, left to right, goes first. Did I get the halflings that were here too? I did. Alright, and we're going to come back down and see if they'll join us. Really, that's the hope here. So I'm going to save again. Again, this is one of the first times you'll see how I can cheese the game. So we'll move down here knowing we can't fight them yet. Next day we'll see if they'll join us or they'll run, because if they fight us, we'll take some losses. We don't want that, especially not in the early game. Alright. Nothing else to do. We hit that dial again. We get a new day. Still nothing out of the enemies as they're doing their quick days too. We'll see what this does. They do fight us. We lose 13 of our halflings, if you can see. So perhaps if we have a slightly more powerful army, they'll run or join us. So the question is, do we want to take these results? This game has a function where right here, this gives us a auto combat, where it tells us essentially what it was, what was expected, what was completed in this particular fight. 13 of ours fell, and we took out their 36, 44 halflings. If we decide that this is fine, we'll accept it. We hit OK. If we want to fight again, we'll hit restart. We're going to hit restart real quick. I don't suspect that we can do anything better. We could throw a stone skin on here. See if that does anything for us. But it's just going to take 2 days to get over to the halflings. So if we do that, the rocks can go here, and we can target maybe this one. So with the rocks here, it's going to make the halflings attack via hand-to-hand combat, melee, so it's not going to be as efficient. With our shooter here, we can shoot these halflings, as at least it's one of the 9. They can attack this 9 or this 9. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so that 9 went first. They killed 4 of our halflings. I guess we go after this one next. And there's 2 more halflings. So we'll save a considerable amount from what we lost initially, but because of the order of which they were attacked, we didn't save as many as we'd hoped. We go kill the 5 here, and the centaurs will finish off these halflings. There's only 1 left. There we go. And we only lost 6 now. Again, acceptable losses, but we just would like to not lose any. Now, the real big deciding factor if we're going to keep this result is if this is a good skill. So let's see what it is. Okay, archery. It says, first off, you approach the hut and observe a witch inside studying an ancient tomb of archery. Tome. Language. An ancient and immortal witch living in a hut with birds' legs for stilts teaches you archery for her own inscrutable purposes. This game has a really good way of giving you kind of like a little, just the tiniest little story with each thing you do. So it's kind of nice. We'll see that whenever we reach artifacts in other parts of this campaign, because the stories are various. You meet a person traveling along the road, and you help them, protecting them all the way back to their castle, but it's like you haven't moved from that spot where the artifact is. It's funny stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and stay with the fight that we had. We'll go up behind Flint and see if we can take out the ropes, and go from there. And getting maybe Vesper's gargoyles in the way. Put the gargoyles in front because they are faster. They're the same speed as the boar, but they'll go all the way across the map as flyers are wont to do. We'll keep Vesper going by getting the gold. I haven't mentioned before, but I haven't played the campaigns in, God, feels like a decade. Maybe more. Alright, we still had a day to do something here in the castle. Ivory Tower and Cloud Castles are fantastic. So an Ivory Tower will require a Foundry and a Mage Guild. We can aim for that. I do brief right clicks on all these to bring up just the quick page. If we do the left click, it brings up to just actually do the purchase. I find that just doing the right click allows me to take a look at what it's worth and what we're gonna get out of it. We're not gonna have a hero coming by the castle super soon, so the Mage Guild's not super necessary just yet. Could do the Foundry, and then Mage Guild, and then the Well before the final day, as it is day 3. So we'll start with the Foundry. I don't see myself ever buying the Golems. They're great for defense. With 10 defense. 5 attack's not terrible, but they're very slow, as you can see there. They do good hit, but they take a lot of hit points too, so their damage is okay. And then you can see here, anytime there's a creature with a special ability, it'll say it above the number of creatures that there are available below the creature image. 50% damage from elemental spells. So if we got hit by lightning, fireball, anything that's an element attacking us, it'll do only 50% of that damage on this Iron Golem. Again, a very good creature for castle defending, or if you had no last choice. Again, the upgraded version of them, the Steel Golems, are also very good. It's just depending upon what you're trying to do. In most cases, people who are wanting more movement points are not going to be getting the Iron Golems. We'll leave them stay there, and that's everything we can do today, except for Kalendra. Whoops, almost forgot. Good thing it had that yellow bar for the movement points. Let's see what's in here. Wolves cannot seemingly go around them. We cannot. Okay. Let's see if we can go underneath the zombies, see what's up there. Yeah, that'll be a new day. Yes. Alright. Okay, let's take Kalendra. Underneath the zombies, as we said, and then go up this way. Vesper. Looks like there's halflings. And there's a horde, we see. And a pack of orc chiefs, more shooters. You see them holding the crossbow. Both of these are melee. And even though they're fast, they're weak. And they're relatively slow. You can probably handle them. See if we can beat the ropes. Do another save. And here we go. Flawless victory. There's a few more things I'd like to mention to you, so I'm going to do that real quick. So we're going to restart the battle. First off, pointing out the grid, if you didn't notice in the last battle. Again, every step is the up to 3. You see with halflings, that means once it's their turn, if I decide to walk, they can move 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, there's any which way you can design it. They can move that way, but they can only move 3 steps. They can move 6, so we're almost across the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'd need 7, 8 to attack if you're walking. I think for a moment I'll put the gargoyles up above, as they could be one of the protectors for the halflings. Always a good idea with the shooters. We're going to skip the hogs, the boars, and get to the rocks. We can almost certainly do this. Only 2 damage against us, as what the logs down here show us. We can shoot the very bottom. Do the 11 here. And with the gargoyles, attack. Okay, so when I put the sword to potentially attack, I right? It shows a little flying logo on any of these hexes. It tells me how much damage I could do 7 to 11, which could kill 2 to 3 of them. I could fly over there with the gargoyles. 1, 2, 3. I mean, either of these two could attack me. If we do this one, though, the 2 will attack before these halflings. But we can do this. And then no retaliation. The rogues have. See, no enemy retaliation. So we didn't get to hit back, but we can finish off the rogues here. Yeah, so there was a way and some other things to learn. We'll get the ore, and we'll see if we can get to fight the mummies. That'll be tomorrow. Alright, another thing in the castle. So we can double-click both the box here to pull it up, but we can also, if we were on a hero, we could click it and then click the castle, where it shows this little castle logo for the mouse. It does the same thing. Okay, I think this is the point where we check out the Mage Guild. Then we do the well and then the orchard if we want. So, wood ore in 2000, still plenty. The higher the difficulty you play with when you start a campaign, the less resources you have to start. Alright, so from the first level of our Mage Guild, we were given 3 spells. View Minds, Dispel Magic, and Slow. Slow is a very good spell to have at the beginning of the game. View Minds is one of the kinds of spells that we can use on the overworld. I was showing you that you can click the hand magic looking hand button. We could use that and look at View Minds on our overworld map. The Dispel Magic, if perhaps we had a reason to remove a bad spell from one of our creatures, we would do that. Dispel Magic could also potentially be used against the enemies who put on perhaps a good boost. Perhaps one of their creatures is gifted with haste, which allows them to go faster. And of course, the faster you go, it dictates the order of which they get to attack, one way or the other. So not only can you move further across the field, like with the boars, 6 steps, but they're going to go before anyone who has fast or average or slow number of steps. Haste will bump that up, and so they'll get to move before you perhaps. I'll get some water here. So slow is really good though. That will reduce the movement rate by any of the opponent creatures or whoever we're attacking, and it slows them down by half. So there you go. All right. We can get back to get that spell in a little bit. Again, we're going to be getting the well and then the Mage Guild in the next couple days. So not the Mage Guild, the Ivory Tower for the mages, a shooting character, a creature that we want. And now that we have archery, it'll be even better. All right, we have yet now another day. We're going to start with taking out the mummies. And we'll go to the peasants there. Move our map by clicking the small mini map up at the top right, as I'm doing with my mouse up here. Not a lot of paths to go with Vesper. Go up that way. Let's just see what it gives us first. Okay, so here. We get one more shooter for a gazebo, which a gazebo is good for just 1,000 experience points. Some more fun up that way. There's another indicator. Lots of goblins. Lots of both of these as well. So they're expecting us to get up into this section a little bit later than this first wave, this extra section here. So next pack is less than lots. All right, well we can get this for the gold. And Calendra. We'll go up here. Oh, I love this sound here. So I'm gonna get close to this fire. It's called the campfire, of course. Listen to the sound. course, pairs well with the music that we're hearing. This is the grass theme, as we are in the grass biome. The music always changes depending on the biome. I think this map is all grass. Alright, so when we get this campfire, it says ransacking an enemy camp. You discover a hidden cache of treasures. We have 4 gems and 400 gold. We're not going to fight the zombies, but they are probably the easiest to dispatch across all the ones we've seen. Up here, we've got a trading post. So in our castle, real quick, we have what are called marketplaces. You've seen it as you've been looking across the screen when I came in to buy something, and it allows you to trade some of your resources for other resources. The more castles in this, the more marketplaces you have, the better the exchange rate, as it says there. But you need more castles to get more marketplaces, so it depends on the time of the game, right? And really, you need a trading post and stuff like, or a marketplace early in the game. Is probably the most often when you need it. Doesn't matter which order we get, ivory tower or well. Okay, a little bit of everything needed for the ivory tower. You can see we need the mercury, sulfur, crystal, and gems. But we're going to go ahead and get it because this is a really good creature to have. We'll do the well next turn, and then see if we can then get the library, which is needed to get the upgrade to the ivory tower. We'll probably not be getting Cloud Castle in this scenario, this part of it, but we will see. We'll see the giants and or titans in a future episode for sure. The well we'll need to get next turn at least, and then again the library and then the ivory tower, and then we'll essentially be done buying those. The Mage Guild will get an additional spell whenever we buy a library, so there's another reason to have it. But that is okay for the castle for now. So marketplaces, to exchange your some of your resources for other resources. The trading post, I believe, gives you the maximum exchange rate, as if you had like 5 castles and 5 marketplaces. If there's a number of marketplaces less that this one represents, or if it's like your marketplace plus 2, or but trading post is really good for beginning game when you only have 1 castle and you need a resource or another. We might be keeping one of our secondary heroes on that spot to be able to use it when we need it. Let's go up a little bit further. We've got a temple, good for morale, but it also lets you sit there to not be attacked by an enemy creature, an enemy hero, sorry. We have a magic garden we're going to go to. You see a little leprechaun inside there. If we catch him, we can get some goods. Flint's going to do the mummies, so let's go ahead and do another save. And take them on. Oh no! They are strong, it seems. So it says, regardless of all that we have, we weren't going to be able to beat them. Let's restart it and try again. Yeah, these are the upgraded mummies called royal mummies. And you know, they're not easy. And even with the regular mummies being average, these are fast, so yeah, we may not be able to beat them. That's fine, we can always restart. I don't know, maybe them first? So both of these mummies are going to come down to this centaurs here. 14 damage. They're going to run around each other a little bit. So that took out 2. Now he's able to go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So he can attack all of my creatures. He wouldn't be able to attack the halflings if I wasn't here. So I'd almost have the odd thought of being like, well, what if I just went ahead and moved him for this one turn? So I could do something odd like that. I'd like to take him up and attack the royal mummies, but there's still not enough being done there, which is unfortunate. Oh, he's gonna attack the rocks. Didn't kill one, but with 23 hit points left, it's close. We can use the logs to see how much. Royal mummies did 17 damage. We would for sure kill one here, but the retaliation probably won't take out one of our rocks, but it'd be close. Let's go ahead and try it. Yep, 17 more damage. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do this as well. Could take out one. Not quite. It did low damage on that one. That did take out 2 that time, so we're going to go ahead and put the gargoyles back. And then we'll use the boars to attack the royal mummies, but only will kill 1. And now I've wasted the first stone skin because there's not... So I'm curious who he would attack. But because I can attack him first, the retaliation will even be lessened. And with that, we lost a rock. We also were cursed, which is something special the mummies can do. Only 30% chance, but they can. This means that the rocks now do the least amount of damage possible, which if their damage is 4 to 8, that means 4 damage, 2 rocks, so 8 damage is the max we can do. As you can see, 8 damage, 0 will perish. But he doesn't have a retaliation because our boars already took that, so we can still make that attack without any harm. Now they're going to slowly come this way. He might come down this way. This could be helpful for us. Will this do another? It will. Okay, we'll do that. Kind of want to start working on them now. The most he could do is 4, which couldn't even kill my boars. Yeah, we need to start doing this. Can we kill the royal mummies this way? No, we don't want to. This could do it, should do it even. They move 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so they could attack the boars, so we probably want to go up this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. They still get it. Well, now I'm just cursed twice over. Not getting the luck right now, not getting the luck. Not like real in-game luck, but just luck in general. Alright, when does that curse go away? 3 more rounds. It's not great. Alright, well let's skip and see what happens. Yep, he's gonna attack the boars. We lost 2 of them. Next turn, those centaurs are toast. If I move the gargoyles here to attack, they can go up and around me to attack the halflings, so they're not going to risk it. I lost my stone skin, so I'm going to put it on one more time since I'm taking the retaliation. I can only do 19 damage, so I can only kill 1, and then kill another 1 alone. One of them. Kill my centaurs. Alright, so my curse has been lifted from my rocks. Didn't take them out. Oh, another curse. How much do they have? 20% chance. Never tell me the odds. Now, I have a curiosity here. We want to keep him from coming up. If we move the rocks away where he's open, I think he'll move up anyway. But we have the opportunity of, like, say if we move to over here, and he's got 4 movement, 1, 2, 3, 4. We stood right here. I'll be honest, I meant to be there and there. I thought putting my, okay. So, hey, something to hear from is when you have a 2 hex long creature, your indicator movement little man here, it's always where his front section will be. Didn't know that. How did that not do it? Well, we're going to lose the rocks. But then again, we thought we were going to lose everything. So. Let's move 1, 2, 3, 4. So here. Wonder if he'll go this way. Nope, he's coming around this way. 2, 3, 4, 1, happens again if I go here? Will he bite? Still one. Alright, well that was our last ditch effort. Don't know if there's anything to rescue him from. 15 hit points. We could do the math here. 6 times 4, 24. Should that be the max it can do? Should be. But the next turn he's gone. We'll save the hit points and just see what happens. Oh. 18 damage. Thought he had 25 hit points left. Maybe I was thinking of the last turn. Okay, well, let's be great if he could take it out. 2. Okay. We'll keep him there. We can't move the boars because then they'll hit the halflings. I didn't lose one though. Can do this. Well, lost one halfling anyway. Well, that's how we can be better than the computers, than any automated battle can give us. We didn't die. We survived. Not well. We would love to have had the rocks. We'd love to have those extra boars. But that's something for us. But you know what? We're going to live with it. We're going to get this here, which is a standing stone. And it is that you found a group of druids worshipping at one of their strange stone edifices. Silently they teach you new ways to cast spells. And we get +1 to our spell power. Which, again, if we have an offensive spell, could be great. As it would do more damage if we had lightning, anything like that. We should be able to handle peasants. We're going to do that. And we do flawlessly. So we're going to accept that. We don't need pathfinding. Now, we'll talk a little bit about secondary skills. Pathfinding allows you to have a reduction of the movement penalty. We have different terrains in this game. If you have desert or a swamp, it takes you 3 times as long to cross those areas. If you have, I want to say like wasteland or snow, it's twice as long as like your normal terrains being dirt and grasslands. Now if you have paths, which you can often see from one castle to another, those pathways even across a desert or swampland or what have you, you can follow the paths and you should still have your normal movement ability. So pathfinding is mostly if you have different kind of terrains. We won't have any. It's just green grass all the way around. So we're going to do the luck, which is a great skill also. So we're going to do that. Have a greater chance at some crits against our enemies. I'm going to do one more save, where I'm going to do a 3. And see how that goes. So I think that's it for today. We'll check back in with you the next time. Be doing this walkthrough tutorial style for this campaign. And again, probably do the campaign again, or even like do level 1 again with different kind of, I don't know, well, I'll figure it out. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a comment below if you have anything you'd like to add as far as how this is going, if you think the tutorial is working. Is it a little too long-winded? I'm really trying to fit in everything I can think of for brand new players to come into this really awesome but older game. It's a good strategy game, so I hope people can enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you could. We have a good old time around here at ABCrazy9, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.